Hey buds, Fossil and Florin here. I'm quite the fan of video games. A gamer I am, some might say. Indeed, I have played my fair share, accumulating many an experience and many a love. But amongst lovers, there's always a distinction between those whom you date and those you marry. The invisible hand of the heart is fickle, and the ranks of relationships is a revolving door. But there is always those tried and true lovers that never leave your heart. Okay, I now realize using relationships and lovers as a metaphor for your favorite games doesn't really work, so I'll use a different one. Think of your favorite video game personal rankings like European feudalism, but with more capacity for moving up and down the social classes. At the bottom are the terrible games. Not the so bad they are good games, but the games that every moment playing them brings you anger and frustration. The serfs. Above them are the vast quantity of games yet to be played, and the games that are it's okay kind of games. The peasants. Games are automatically placed here before they are played, as you don't know if you will enjoy them or not, so you assume a baseline indifferent opinion. Only after being played can games move from or stay here. Once more up are the pretty good games. Not about to win any awards or become a beloved classic, but you enjoyed your time with it. These are the knights. All the games in these categories can move up and down freely based on how you feel about them at the moment, based on countless reasons. Then you get to the group of games secure in their position, the nobility in the case of this metaphor. Among these are the entertaining, the captivating, and the influential games all people hold in high regard. Or at least you do. These games are few and hard to find, but highly coveted. However, held even higher than them, the most powerful position a game can have, the number one favorite. The holder of this position can be changed and replaced with others, mainly those of the nobility, but there can only ever be one, which makes it special. All of my previous number one games have been carefully crafted RPGs with complicated stories and almost all with a fantasy setting. So how is it that my current number one game is a sci-fi strategy colony builder with a basis on randomized worlds and characters? In this video, I will try to explain why and how Rimworld became my favorite game. I know. Talking about your favorites again, oldie foldy moldy goldy? What are you, some kind of narcissist? But don't worry, I plan on making more video essay type videos like the one on YouTuber Music again. Eventually. Actually, now that I think about it, that video would be considered an opinion piece, wouldn't it? Okay, this is not helping my argument. My videos won't just be about me, okay buds? It's not like I'm obsessed with my own face or something. Now, one of the reasons I'm making this video is because, as some of you may know, I have covered Rimworld once before on this channel. However, that was early on into this channel's history, back when the quality of videos was about as good as Spy Kids 4. And because I hold Rimworld in such high regard, I felt like the video I had made didn't do it justice, which is what I will try to do with this video. Well, that and I want to justify my very large hour count. God, that's a lot of hours. Unlike other games in my top 10 favorite games list that once held the equivalent to the base solo and Take No Prisoners. Oh yeah. I keep coming back to play Rimworld over and over again, no matter how much time has passed or those who object to it.
I can't believe this. I'm sorry, Dark Souls. Why'd you do it, huh? Why'd you have to betray me? You don't understand. No, I get it. Cheeky Breeky over here doesn't know how good he has it. I second that. Stay out of this, New Vegas. As a fellow former favorite, I believe I have just as much. Ring-a-ding-ding, Pally, you're crying in the rain. They say it about you.
Well, that's just rude.
You see, the problem with Discount Anomaly over here is that he decides to replace me, a game with an immaculately crafted story and world, with a game that relies on procedural generation. To think you would fall so low. You wanna know why? Fine, I'll tell you why. A new Oscar Toki mod was released. I couldn't resist.
Wait, there's a new Oscar Toki mod out?
Yes, and I love it.
This discussion is postponed until further notice.
6 hours later.
Hey, I'm Dark Souls. Can I just really talk to you about...
I'm not doing anything.
That is a big reason why I keep coming back. Mods. Rimworld's mods enhance and add all kinds of content, allowing you to personalize the game experience to whatever you may prefer. It adds near infinite replayability, as you can try out new mods as they come out, and create a personalized mod list to make whatever kind of game you might be feeling like. Of course, it's not just mods that make Rimworld replayable. The official updates Tynan puts out make sure of that. These updates seem to give me everything I have ever wanted the game to become, and things I never knew I wanted. When I first started playing the game, you couldn't travel anywhere beyond your colony, which is something I had really wanted to do. Traveling to other faction bases and sieging them down always felt like it would be really fun to me. Then in Alpha 16, they added the spherical world map and traveling mechanics, which made me very happy. Not to mention, it added pod launchers, chem fuel, sea ice biome, and a new ending. Later, I started to wish that the biomes in Rimworld had location names. I really liked the random generator location names featured in Dwarf Fortress, so I really hoped it would be brought to Rimworld. Knowing a location's name is important for you to really immerse yourself in the stories generated. Like, who can think of the greatest fantasy stories and not remember the place names? They are vital. This is important to me because I am what the Poles consider a duży stary kujon, or in English, a big old nerd. And to my delight, in Beta 18 they added world map names, as well as swamps, new quests, new furniture, damn tornadoes, tribal content upgrade, new mental breaks and new mental inspirations, and a combat log. Needless to say, I'm one happy camper. This would continue through the future updates, as I would have a faint idea that, hey, maybe this would be fun, and then next update Tynan's at the door with that faint idea on a silver platter and a goodie bag of other features. In current times now with royalty, we got royal titles and psychic powers. Oh Tynan, you spoil us so. What I'm trying to say is that Rimworld had enough content to be considered a full release years ago, but it is still being built up with more and more content every year. Whenever you think you have burnt yourself out on the Rimworld content available, a new update is released and sucks you right back in. If longevity and replayability were pretentious fans, then Rimworld is that guy with the Tool t-shirt. It's funny, cause I'm a Tool fan. Of course, Rimworld is also very fun to play. I mean, longevity and replayability would be useless if people don't want to replay the game because it's boring. Here's a quick rundown on various aspects of the game that make it so fun. Combat? Simple enough on the surface. Survey enemy, find cover, hope your colonist doesn't miss every single shot they take. But with a lot more depth and tactical options you discover the more you play. Characters? You get attached to them, and are sad to see them lose their head to a charge lance. He was the resident drug addict who started fights, but he was our resident drug addict who started fights. At least he made a good armchair. Story? Randomly generated characters and events make every game's story different from the last, be it a triumphant high or a dramatic low. Building? Particularly a favorite of mine, but let me go a bit more in depth on why that is. Since the building aspects of Rimworld are done with individual tile-based pieces like Prison Architect and Minecraft instead of the full building placing style of games like Tropico and Banished, it allows you to make your necessary rooms in any way and shape you like. There is no set design for a bedroom or dining room. You can make it in any way that your resources allow for. You see, the problem I find with many full building placing games is that you can only customize and personalize your town so much with pre-made assets, and once you've gotten all of them down, there's not much else to do in the game. I'm looking at you, Banished. It might be an apples to oranges comparison, and I know it isn't exactly the most important thing, but I find Rimworld allows me to be much more creative with base design and really make it my way, which is something I just really love. With all that said, to answer the question I raised at the start, some time ago, I looked at my hours I had put into Rimworld and how I was somehow still having fun with it. I realized that, as much as I artistically and narratively love games like Dark Souls and Fallout New Vegas, I always burnt myself out on them eventually and stopped having fun. So in terms of entertainment, Rimworld is the better game, as I am still playing it and still having fun. That is how Rimworld became my favorite game. It was more entertaining than the rest, because when it comes down to it, that is what a game is for. My name is Olden Gold, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing for more. Also, follow me on Twitter